Hello, we're here at the Shoe Healer in Doncaster, and one of our followers, subscribers, has asked a message about the backliners. It's Bion, I think it's Bion, that's how you pronounce it. He's asking the backliners to stop them splitting and stop them wearing out. Can you, when you're cleaning your shoes, can you put a little bit of cream around the back of the counter? It's called the counter. Can you put a bit of cream inside the shoe round the back, and it will stop them from splitting or wearing through? Well, it's a really good question, that, and I don't know. I don't know the answer. It might have got on something there. You know, you'll see in the back of some shoes. In fact, I'll show you on my shoe here. This is, look at that. That's on my shoe there. Can you see the back lining that I've worn through? Yeah. Now, a few reasons why I think this might happen. These were a really snug fit on me. They were really tight, and maybe that's had something to do with wearing the backs out. Maybe it's something to do with the fact I wear my shoes regularly every day, and you should really leave your shoes for a couple of days to dry out in between wears, because the moisture from your foot causes friction on the back of the heel, and that can help to wear the back away. So maybe 2 or 3 days wear, 2 or 3 days rest. When you're wearing the shoe, the moisture from your foot absorbs into the leather lining, and apparently when you're wearing them, that moisture causes a little bit of friction, and it's what can wear the leather away too quickly if you think you're going through them too quickly. This is the sort of repair that Paul does. It's a back lining around the back. It's the suede side out, because the idea is that the suede side helps to hold your foot, hold your sock a little bit, stop the shoe from moving around too much.
Either way, though, can't we?
Yeah, you can have it either way. If you prefer to have the leather, the smooth side out, you can do that. So Paul's got this pair ready here to have, can you have a look at that there? Look. So it's having the leather around the back, and then he'll stitch it around there. When the in sock goes back down, it all looks quite neat. You always end up with a little bit of an edge at the top that Paul can sometimes colour, or just leave it as it is when it's stitched up. It's hardly seen, but that's a similar repair that you get to the factory that Paul does. This is a pair of Barkers here, and when you look inside here, can you just see there's some lumps and bumps and whatnot on the back. Yeah, they've not worn through, they've not, but what's happened here, this gentleman, you might recognise his shoes looking at these, he's not been using a shoehorn, probably not undoing the laces, and over time he's been putting his foot into that shoe and crushing the back down, and it's actually damaged the reinforced material inside on the heel there. So that's I mean, it all looks quite intact, but you can feel a few lumps and bumps where the counter has crushed. But he'll wear those. He probably won't be aware of that. It's just, you know, it's still holding its shape nicely, but we can just feel a few little bumps, undulations on there. It's something that happens, and you can't avoid it. So here we've got a pair of Trickers that have come in for repair, and they've started to wear a little bit. We see this on all shoes and boots, and this has got, if you just look inside there, can you get that there? Can you see that little split there? We'll actually put some glue up that, because the leather around here is still beautiful. It's just the seam that's broke through there, worn through on the seam. So a little bit of leather, so they don't need anything doing to them really, other than that leather just bonding back together and leaving nice and flat. What these would get, they would get like a half a heel back line around there and stitched up. We have to stitch them really so that when you put your foot in, you don't push them down. And I think they're about 25-30 quid for a pair. I think a little bit more on a pair of boots if you have a full back line, so Paul can put a liner all the way up the back. I think that might get towards 45-50 quid for that sort of repair. But it's something that we see a lot of, wearing away of the heel, where the heel sits in the shoe. And I really don't know. I don't know if it's too tight a shoe, too loose a shoe, too much wearing of a shoe, not leaving it to dry out. I'm at a loss for what actually causes it. And if our customer is saying there that, you know, you put a bit of cream in, will that help? Again, I don't know. Maybe somebody will come back to us and tell us what their idea is with that. Okay, so fabulous. I think we're done there.